Hello there. Why do you think it is important to train the disabled to learn to play sports?
I think it's important for anybody to learn to play sport, whether they're disabled or able-bodied. Might be particularly a little bit more important because very often disabled athletes would have used sport as a means of recovery and rehabilitation, and we'll continue that into finding a specific sport to play. And like some of the athletes I work with, go even further and become involved in Paralympic sports.
Okay. Do you just train people with disabilities, or do you train everybody that wants to learn sport?
No, I train everybody that wants to learn sport. I'm in no way I in no way discriminate, and it's really good for disabled athletes to work with those without a disability or even a mild form of disability. So the work I do is very inclusive. So very often I don't differentiate between those with a disability or those without.
Okay. How does it feel to train Paralympians?
Most gratifying, because very often they would have overcome a huge amount of personal sadness and adversity, and it's actually good to see them very much normalise their everyday lives through sport.
Okay. Did you feel a sense of achievement when a Paralympian wins a medal?
I feel a sense of achievement not because of my involvement, because the athletes I work mainly with volleyball team athletes. So we are not in a position of winning, not yet, we're not in a position of winning or competing for medals, and we certainly didn't in London 2012. But I get a huge amount of satisfaction when I see any athlete from any country win a medal, because I would imagine behind that gold medal is a story of amazing courage and determination. Each individual has got a story to tell, whereas in non-disabled sport, it may well be that the background of that athlete is actually quite uninteresting.
Okay. Are you upset or annoyed when one of your athletes does not win a medal?
No, I might be initially disappointed. I wouldn't say I'm annoyed or upset. It may well be that they have other underlying issues that don't involve the sport that I need to find out about. Coaching athletes, whether disabled or not, is not just about coaching them in the sports hall. It's about finding out about them, their psychological and emotional needs, because everybody is different. And it may well be that they may be experiencing a difficult time. They could be a student where they're having problems meeting deadlines with work, examinations and so on. So I just take a step back and consider what the issues might be and talk them through.
Okay. Have you trained any gold medal athletes?
No, I've not trained any gold medal athletes, but some of those athletes I've worked with that initially played Paralympic volleyball have actually gone on to compete in individual events. And one notable Paralympic athlete that I worked with, along with other coaches, was Richard Whitehead, who became quite a household name in the Paralympic Games, winning at least one gold medal in track and field. Okay.
How do you feel about winning the prestigious title of the children's coach at the Coaching Awards in 2002?
Very honoured, very surprised initially, but very honoured, particularly pleased as it gave some recognition or further recognition to my sport of sitting volleyball, Paralympic volleyball, particularly after we weren't very well known as a sport in this country, but more people got to know about us through very good TV coverage during the Paralympic Games. So for me, it was good about being amongst quite some very preeminent people in sport and standing on the stage, and they knew that I was there about sitting volleyball. And it's quite like some of the people in that audience probably didn't have much idea or know much about sitting volleyball. So I like to think I put sitting volleyball a little bit more on the map.
Okay, thank you. Back in 2012, how did you feel when you were carrying the Paralympic torch past the St Thomas Hospital?
Once again, a bit like being awarded the Sports Coach of the Year. I was honoured, particularly pleased for my own sport. what was particularly enjoyable for me was after I handed over my flame to the next athlete, I then made my way to the Olympic Park, to the Paralympic opening ceremony, and I was able to see that flame that I'd carried in central London actually light the cauldron by one of the athletes that I'd worked with, volleyball athlete, double amputee. So that was particularly pleasing. I felt that I was just a very small part of a very symbolic journey and event.
Okay, thank you for your time.
No, thank you, Jonathan.